fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
This ritual can make you happier and give you more energy. Hey everybody, Joe Simons, Like Diamonds, back again, Salt Strong Unchurched. And this is an excerpt from my book, Fishing for Happiness. And this is something that has literally changed my life, my wife's life, and countless others. I did not come up with it. I have just used it and have talked about it many, many times. And I've had a few people have asked me about it recently. And I was like, you know what? I need to do a podcast on this because it's so critical. And I take it for granted now, but it literally changed my life. It made me happier and gives me more energy every day I do it. When I don't do it, I know about it. So let me just read real quickly here. So this is from the book. And this is a conversation my wife and I are having. And this has really happened. So it starts off with quotes. "You were going to make me late to the office," my wife snarled at me. "Well, if you hadn't spent 45 minutes in the shower, maybe you could have helped me get the baby ready this morning," I snapped back at her. We were at it again, like two little kids bickering and calling each other names over an old piece of Halloween candy. Lauren and I were fighting about why the other person had not packed our daughter's lunch yet. "Are you serious? Do you even realize how much I do around here cleaning up after the three of you every night while the girls sleep and you read? I don't want to hear it," she yelled back at me. Our kitchen went silent when we heard our daughter Shauna making her way downstairs. I can't remember which one of us actually made the lunch. 17 awkward and angry minutes later, my wife opened the garage door, threw her bag onto the passenger seat as fast as she could, and wrestled our oldest daughter into her car seat. "Honey, I need you to stop moving your arms now," she yelled. I attempted a feeble, "Have a good day, girls," but my wife Lauren was too rushed, too stressed out, and too mad at me to even reply. I wish I could say this is the first time we'd had this kind of morning. Does any of this sound familiar at your house? A rushed, last-minute, stressful morning, being late to work again, being late to drop off the kids again, or to catch a train or a bus, late to class again, getting angry at complete strangers, or even worse, getting mad at a loved one to start the day. Well, you're in good company. In fact, I'm willing to bet most of us have been there a time or two or dozens. This story I just played out is something that happened in our house more times than I care to remember. And I'm willing to bet, as I said, that it's probably maybe happened to you in the past, or maybe even this morning, who knows? And there was a book called The Miracle Morning that literally changed all of that for me. And I realized this was a problem. Like we were kind of sleeping in because we were young parents, right? And it was tough, and we wanted all the sleep we can get. They were wearing us out physically and mentally, and so we tried to sleep in. And I read this book, Miracle Morning, and it talked about doing the opposite, right? That it says you actually get more energy by waking up earlier. You get caught up on stuff, especially if you have a ritual. And the ritual it goes by an acronym, SAVERS, SAVERS, SAVERS. And just take a note if you can, pause this or just try to remember SAVERS. And this is what you do every single morning. And so I started practicing this. My wife started practicing this, and my wife's not an early morning person. I am. I traditionally, as even a kid, I was always up at like 6-ish, and this was putting me, getting up at like 5:15, 5:20. And still today, my alarm goes off at 5:20 pretty much every single morning, minus some weekends. And my wife, it was really, really tough. Like she would literally want to sleep in until the last possible moment. It was 7:30 and she had to be somewhere at 8. She'd sleep in until 7:30 and maybe even hit snooze. She really struggled with it, but she started doing this SAVERS thing that I'm going to share with you in a second, and literally changed her life too. Like she's now waking up. It took her a while. It didn't happen overnight. Like it took a couple weeks, but all of a sudden she's waking up with just tons of energy. Like, I'm having a miracle morning. And she was a pleasure to be around. We didn't like the fights that I just mentioned went completely away. It literally changed everything about our lives. And I still see it today. The times I skip it, because it has happened on occasion where I'm just flat out tired, and I will not wake up at my 5:20 time, and I skip the SAVERS, and it literally throws my whole day out of whack. I can tell a massive difference. Even people around me like, oh man, you seem like you're stressed out. And that rarely does someone say that about me. Normally because I got my stuff in gear. Like I have everything in place because I do this saver. So let me tell you what each of these letters stands for. The first one is silence. Right? How many of you start your day off with silence? I'll tell you what most people do, because I've witnessed it and I've did it myself for many times, is the first thing we do is we check our phone, right? We want to see what emails, or we go to the Facebook or the Instagram or Twitter or wherever we are. And it's like the first thing we do. We go to the news, even worse. That's the absolute worst thing you could do. And then the best thing you could do is start your morning off with silence. And this is not something I made up. I mean, this book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, sold millions of copies. And it's funny, so many of the most successful people in this world follow something very, very similar to this, if not this exact same setup. And most of them say, start your day off with silence. Do not go to your phone. And this can mean meditation. This can mean prayer. This could do deep breathing, for those of you suffering with anxiety. Just starting your day off with some slow, deep breathing to kind of calm you down. For me personally now, it's my time where I make coffee. I'm the first person up, and my wife is shortly after me. So 5:20, I do my coffee, and I just sit there and take a breath, and I look out at the lake. So for me, I might say a prayer sometimes if I feel called, or if there's something going on that I'm going to pray about, but I do it every single morning, and it's amazing. I try not to check my phone, and that's been the toughest thing, to be honest with you, is not just checking my phone and seeing if someone texts me that, the night, because I put my phone on silence every night, and or to check my emails, if there's any fires to put out, or check Facebook or Instagram. That's the toughest thing. But every morning I start with that silence and just breathing in slow and smelling the coffee. To me, that's a neat thing. Sometimes even stretching and breathing while I'm just, stretching my body after a good night's sleep. It's amazing what this will do to you. It's actually prepping your mind for what inevitably will be a busy and noisy day, right? Because what happens as soon as the rest of your family gets up, or if you don't have a family, by the time you go to work or whatever you're doing, who knows what kind of chaos and things are going to be thrown at you. So knowing that, why would you want to start your day off in chaos instead of starting in a calm, like very, very meditation-like state? I'm telling you, it's game changer. And just 5 minutes. Like I'm not talking about doing this for an hour. I'm talking like 4 to 5 minutes, however long it takes you to make a cup of coffee. So just doing that for 5 minutes, just that one alone will start changing things for you. All right. So that's the first S, is silence. The A is affirmations. And I'm not talking about, who is it, Stuart Smalley, from I'm smart enough, I'm nice enough, I'm good enough, and doggone it, people like me. Remember that guy who looked in the mirror? No, we're talking, I guess it is kind of like that, but talking about anything going on in your life that you're going to do this, like today. And I'm telling you, this sounds goofy, and this is the one I struggle with the most because I thought it was kind of silly. But Tony Robbins talks about that. Even just complimenting yourself and talking about what you want and why you want it. Just if it's, I'm going to be doing this today, or I'm going to accomplish this today, or this is going to be an amazing day. Literally just telling yourself that just for a couple minutes. Like, you're not doing this for 30 minutes. Just even saying it for a couple minutes, like, you know what, I'm going to crush it today. Just getting yourself mentally prepared and pumped up. I'm telling you, I thought this was super silly. It is game changing. And this is the one I'm most likely to skip, I'll be honest with you. But every time I do it, I feel it. And every time I skip it, I regret it. This is literally just getting your mindset ready and telling yourself what you're going to do today, or even just, you know what, I am going to crush it. This is going to be an amazing day. You don't have to yell it out to the rooftops, but just saying it even in your head does a massive, massive things to your entire body. It's really wild. So A, affirmations. V is visualization. And this is basically building on top of your affirmations normally. And this is just visualizing. Close your eyes, and maybe you're smelling your coffee at this point, or maybe you're still breathing, but just visualizing what you're going to do that day. So the affirmations is getting you pumped up, looking in the mirror as Stuart Smalley did and saying, doggone it, people like me. But the visualization now is visualizing, even just for a couple minutes. This is, once again, all these are short and sweet. So even if just for a couple minutes to visualize what you're going to do that day and how you're going to crush it. I mean, every professional athlete, every a gold medal Olympist has said that they visualized themselves doing the entire act of whatever it was that they're participating in, and even the act of them being up on the podium, they would visualize the entire thing. Michael Jordan, I mean, he was like the guy that we all wanted to be like, right? Be like Mike. And he says he visualized every single game beforehand, and he would have silence. He would literally go through these same steps, affirmations, and talk about how just pump himself up. And then he would literally visualize the shots that he hadn't even taken. He would visualize himself getting open, and this stuff would start happening. He's like, I've literally had visualized this stuff over and over again. And it literally just started happening during the game. Like, it's spooky, but it absolutely works. So the V in Savers is visualization, just a few minutes. E is for exercise. This is the longest one. And this could be 10 minutes. I mean, in a perfect world, you go 20 minutes. And for many mornings, I'll just walk. I walk around the neighborhood, or we have a treadmill. I get on the treadmill and walk, or take a quick jog, just something that gets your heart pumping and your blood flowing. This one's critical. And I'm not talking about, you don't have to have a full-on hour workout, but just 10 to 20 minutes of getting your body moving. It is amazing what this does for the rest of your day. And especially just knocking it out early. And you still might have a full workout if you're hitting the gym or whatever later that day or even that morning. But just doing this early in the morning before everyone else is up, I'm telling you, it is game-changing. The next one is reading. So the R, the Savers, is R. And I love reading. I didn't love reading growing up. This is not something that I did all throughout high school and stuff. It was something that came to me a little bit later, but I realized the power of reading, and I love reading stories about everyone from P.T. Barnum and the Walt Disneys and Benjamin Franklin. I love hearing about how empires were founded, like the story of Walmart, the Sam Walton story. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. And I like, reading like the 300 books that made up the book Fishing for Happiness, the book that Hal Elrod did, The Miracle Morning. I love stuff I love learning and finding ways to improve myself. And so this was an easy one for me. And that's another, 15, 20 minutes. I'd say 20 minutes max, but just reading, it could be the newspaper. I don't think that's the best use of the time. But if you're really into that, at least just still, once again, you're in silence and you're reading. And so that's the R. The last one is scribing. This is a critical one. In C12, my Christian leadership group, we talk about this a lot. Just the act of actual writing with a pen and a pad of paper. And it could be gratitude. It could be your journal. It could be writing to God. It could be writing to your spouse. And just doing this for 5 minutes max, like just a couple minutes. It is surprising what this does. It can take stress off. You can get some of your thoughts down, and even just saying who you're grateful for. I do it every single day. I try not to ever skip this part. It has been literally life-changing writing this stuff down, and so many things have manifested from all this, from visualizing and actually writing it down, things that have been on my mind that I want to accomplish. It is wild what happens. It's like magic when you actually start writing the things down that you want in life and that you're trying to get, and you're asking God for help. It's really wild. And so that's it. That's the Savers. Silence, affirmations, doggone it, people like me, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. Try it out. It's going to feel uncomfortable maybe the first few times. If this is all new to you, even getting up early, like at 5:20, 5:30, something in the 5 range is what they recommend. It's amazing what happens when the rest of the world wakes up. Like, my kids are waking up at 6:50. I'm waking up at 5:20. So I've knocked out all the stuff and then some. I feel like I've accomplished hours of work. And so by time the kids are now at school and I'm just truly starting my day, like as the CEO of Salt Strong at 8 o'clock, I've already accomplished an hour or more of like legit work with no interruptions. And that's how I get ahead. That's how we're always seem to be growing and on top of things. And the times I don't do it, I feel like I'm just flat out playing catch up. I'm not in the same mindset. I'm not as happy. I don't have as much energy. And the coolest part is this waking up early. you might feel sluggish in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. The first week or two, just like any habit, it might take your body a little while to adjust, but all of a sudden you're going to wake up and be like, holy smokes, I've got more energy than ever before by, yes, waking up earlier versus later. You still need to get a good night's sleep. I'm not going to try to say, hey, you can still go to bed at 1 a.m. and wake up at 5 and have more energy. You probably should be going to bed a little bit earlier if you're one of these night owls, but just try it out. You'll be shocked at how much more energy you have, how much more you get done, and honestly, how much happier and fulfilled you become from this. Multiple people have said this same thing by using this miracle morning. It's literally brought more happiness and fulfillment and tons of energy. So don't forget the savers: silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, which is writing. So hope this helped. It truly helped me a lot. And I'd love to hear from you if there's anything that you guys do specific in terms of daily or morning rituals that have helped you out, or even at nighttime rituals, things that you do good to bed. Hit me up, joe@saltstrong.com, or leave a comment in the comment section. I put all these unchurched episodes at saltstrong.com/unchurched. And that is saltstrong.com/unchurched. And my email, once again, joe@saltstrong.com. We will talk to you on the next episode. Love you guys, and we'll chat soon. Peace.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul, it was